Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Monday, May 15th. We've got a 7-game slate on for this Monday. Just looking over the slate, this is definitely going to be a slate where you're going to be able to go cheap at pitcher, and you're going to be able to pay up for plenty of hitters. I was making a lineup earlier before I started recording, and I found 2 pitchers that I like towards the mid-range and cheaper end today, and I was able to spend up for plenty of hitters. So I think that's the way you're going to be attacking this slate. There aren't really any aces. Your top pitcher is Brandon McCarthy, so you're definitely going to be able to spin down at pitcher and get plenty of good bats in today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so starting off at pitcher, the SP1 that I'm going to be looking at today is Jesse Chavez at 7,800, pitching at home against the White Sox. Absolutely love this spot for Chavez, pitching in LA at home. That is a great ballpark for pitchers. If you look at Chavez's stats this year he's posted a 7.5 K per 9, which is pretty solid. That pretty much means every 9 innings that Chavez pitches, he averages about 7, close to 8 strikeouts in those 9 innings, which is pretty solid. And if you look at the splits versus right-handed pitchers, the White Sox rank towards the top of the league when it comes to strikeout rate. They rank 6th up top with a 23.8% K rate against right-handed pitchers. So this is a great spot for Chavez to get plenty of Ks. His Ks have been pretty consistent throughout this year. In his last 4 games, he's posted 5, 4, 3, and 7 strikeouts. I definitely think he's going to be able to get you at least 5, probably 6, 7 strikeouts today against the White Sox. They're definitely a strikeout-heavy team when it comes to playing against righties. So I really like this spot for Chavez. I think he has plenty of upside. If you look at his splits this year, he does pitch a little bit better at home. Through 5 games at home this year, he's averaged 12 DraftKings points, and then in 4 games on the road, he's only averaged 10. So he does pitch better at home. If you look at Fantasy Labs, the White Sox are only implied to score 3.7 runs today, which is very low. The Angels are pretty big favorites. With Mike Pelfrey on the mound for the White Sox, I think the Angels are definitely going to be able to blow up Pelfrey and should be able to get Chavez plenty of run support. I really like him to get a win today. So Jesse Chavez is going to be the SP1 that I'm looking at today. Like I said, I absolutely love this spot for him. I think he has plenty of strikeout upside. At only 7,800, I really like that price tag as well. So I really like Jesse Chavez today as my SP1. And then in my SP2 today, I'm going to be going a little bit cheaper, and I'm going to be targeting Chase Anderson, 6,800, getting a matchup against the Padres. I really like this spot for Chase Anderson. If you look at the splits versus right-handed pitchers this year, the Padres right towards the top of the league when it comes to strikeout percentage. They're only behind the Rays when it comes to K rate. The Rays strike out 26% of the time against right-handed pitchers, and the Padres strike out 25.3%, which is very high. That's towards the top of the league. So I think Chase Anderson has plenty of strikeout upside today. Strikeouts haven't been that great this year. On his last 4 games, he's only posted 4, 6, 2, and 6 strikeouts. Anderson has been really inconsistent lately as well. He did get off to a really hot start to begin the year. On his first 4 games this year, he posted 16, 30, 16, and 20 DraftKings points. On his last 3 games, he's been really getting rocked a little bit. He's only posted 5, 8, and 8 DraftKings points. But I love this spot for Anderson. I think he's going to be able to bounce back today. Playing in Petco, the Padres ballpark is one of the best ballparks for pitchers. So I really like Chase Anderson today as your SP2 that you can definitely target, especially just 6,800. That price tag is very cheap. And the Brewers have been hitting the ball very well this year, so I definitely think they're going to be able to get Chase Anderson some run support and probably get him a win, get you those 4 extra DraftKings points, which are huge on DK. So I really like Chase Anderson today just as my SP2. I love this matchup for him. At just 6,800, he is going to be someone that I consider with that really cheap price tag. When you plug him and Chavez in on DraftKings, that leaves you over 4,400 per player for your hitters, which is a ton of salary. So like I said at the beginning of the video, you're definitely going to be able to pay up for plenty of bats today. So I like going with Chase Anderson and Jesse Chavez as my 2 pitchers, and then paying up for some bats. And then for my 3 hitters that I'm going to be targeting, at first base, there's a guy that I really like here, and that's Freddie Freeman, 4,900, getting a matchup against Mike Bolsinger. I love Freeman in this spot, playing in Toronto. That is a great ballpark for hitters. There's not much I need to say about Freddie Freeman. He's just an absolute beast. On his last 3 games, he's posted 16, 11, and 9 DraftKings points. He's just been really consistent this year. He's just been raking the ball. He's posted a 342 average this year. He's already had 12 home runs. He's been hitting the ball out of the ballpark a ton this year. And playing in Toronto, that is a great ballpark for hitters. I really like Freddie Freeman today, getting a matchup against Bolsinger. Bolsinger is not a good pitcher, so I definitely like Freddie Freeman today as someone that you can target at first base, especially at 4,900. I think that's a little bit too cheap for him, so he is definitely going to be a hitter that I try and pay up for today. And then in my other 2 hitters, I'm going to be targeting the outfield here. I love Mike Trout today at just 5,400. Like I said, guys, you're going to have plenty of salary today to pay up for some bats. So I definitely think Trout's going to be a guy you want to try and jam in today. Getting a matchup against Mike Pelfrey. Pelfrey is one of the worst pitchers in the league. He is a total gas can. The Angels should definitely be able to rock him today. So I really like Mike Trout. There's not much I need to say about Trout. He's just the best hitter in the league. He's just going to smash anytime he gets a great matchup. He's getting a great matchup today. The only thing I don't really like is the ballpark. LA's ballpark does favor pitchers. And if you look at Trout's BVP, this is something that is very surprising. He has actually done really bad against Mike Pelfrey. In 10 at-bats, Mike Trout has only had 1 hit against Mike Pelfrey, which is very surprising. I don't think that's going to continue today, though. I love this spot for Trout. Pelfrey's just been a gas can this year. He's been getting rocked every time he steps on the mound. So I really like Mike Trout today. I think he's one of the top hitters on this slate. You're going to want to try and jam him in today. It should be pretty easy, like I said. When you play Chavez and Anderson, that gives you a ton of salary. When you plug in Freeman and Trout after you take your 2 pitchers, you still have 4,100 per player, which is a ton of salary. So I really like Mike Trout today. He's going to be a hitter that I try and jam into all my lineups. It should be pretty easy to fit him in with all the cheap options at pitcher. I really like Mike Trout today at just 5,400. Then another outfielder that I like, sort of a value play, is Kevin Pillar at just 3,500. Pillar's getting a great matchup today against Bartolo Colon. Colon has also been a complete gas can this year. He has done terrible this year. Kevin Pillar has actually been hitting the ball very well lately. In his last 4 games, he's put up 4, 9, 15, and 14 DraftKings points. He's going to be playing in a great ballpark today for hitters. The Rogers Center, Toronto's ballpark, is a great ballpark for hitters. So I really like Kevin Pillar today. Bartolo Colon, there's not much I need to say about him. He's just going to get rocked every time he steps on the mound. He struggles against lefties. He struggles against righties. So I definitely like the Blue Jays as a stack today. Kevin Pillar is one of my favorite plays, sort of for value. You don't really need value on this slate, but he's definitely going to be someone that I consider. When you put him in at just 3,500, that gives you a ton of more extra salary. Now you have 4,300 per player, which is a ton of salary for your hitters. So I really like Kevin Pillar today as an outfield value play at just 3,500. He is definitely going to be someone that I consider if I'm looking for value. And yeah, guys, so those are my top 5 plays for tonight. I went with Jesse Chavez, Chase Anderson, Freddie Freeman, Mike Trout, and Kevin Pillar. And now I'm going to give you some other guys that you can target at each position. So at pitcher, some other pitchers that I like besides the guys that are in my top 5 plays. I do like Brandon McCarthy today if you want to pay up. I don't really think I'm going to be paying up for him. I think I'm going to be attacking the mid-range and going cheap at pitcher today. I'm going to be trying to get in all the bats that I can, so I'm probably not going to be on McCarthy. But this is a pretty good spot for him playing in San Francisco. That ballpark is a great ballpark for pitchers. The Giants have really struggled offensively this year, so I do like McCarthy if you want to pay up for him. At the mid-range, I do like Dan Straley today. Straley's getting a revenge game going up against his former team. He did play for the Astros last year, so he might come out with a little bit of extra fire. Straley's been pitching pretty well this year, so I do like him at just 8,200. And then if you need a value pitcher, I also do like Luis Perdomo today. Playing at home in San Diego, great ballpark for pitchers. The Brewers are really good offensively this year, but they definitely do struggle outside of Miller Park. And playing in San Diego, playing in Petco Park, that ballpark does favor pitchers a ton. So I do like Luis Perdomo. He's actually been really consistent this year. I definitely think you can target him today at just 6,600. Catchers, some catchers that I like today. Don't think I'm going to be punting catcher today. I don't really think you need to. So if I'm paying up, which I probably will at catcher, I'm going to be looking at Buster Posey, JT Realmuto, or Yasmani Grandal. Those are some catchers I like today. First base, besides Freddie Freeman, some other first basemen I like. If you want to pay up, I also do like Jay Bruce today. At the mid-range at first base, I like Yonder Alonso. And if you need a value play at first base, I like Justin Smoke. Second base, I don't think I'm going to be going for value here. I'm going to be paying up, so I definitely like Jose Altuve today. I really like Jonathan Villar. Jonathan Villar's really been hitting the ball well lately. I definitely think you can target him. At the mid-range at second base, I like Neil Walker. Neil Walker has also been hitting the ball very well lately. He's going to be playing in Chase Field today, which is a great ballpark for hitters. So I definitely like Neil Walker if you're attacking the mid-range at second base. Then a value play I like at second base is Jed Lowry. Third base, I'm going to be probably paying up here. I would definitely like Jake Lamb today. He's probably one of the top third basemen. Playing at home in Chase Field, which is a great ballpark for hitters. He's going to be getting a pretty good matchup against Zach Wheeler. Wheeler has been a little up and down this year. Jake Lamb does hit righties very well, so I do like him at third base. At the mid-range at third base, I like Kyle Seager. And if you need a value play at third base, I like Luis Valbuena. All right, at shortstop, I'm probably just going to be strictly paying up here. I do really like the top 3 options. I love Carlos Correa, Corey Seager, and Gene Segura. I think those are going to be the 3 guys that I look at shortstop. Like I said, you're going to be able to pay up for plenty of hitters today. You're not going to need much value. But there is a value play that I do like at shortstop, and that's Ryan Goins. I definitely think you can target him if you're looking for value at shortstop. Then at outfield, some guys I like at the 4K price range. Love Giancarlo Stanton today, getting a match against Joe Musgrove. Musgrove, he will definitely give up a ton of home runs, and you all know Giancarlo Stanton's one of the best power hitters in the league. I do like him at outfield. Also, towards that same price range, I love Nelson Cruz going up against the lefty and Sean Manaea. Cruz, he crushes lefties. You can definitely target him at outfield. And then for value at outfield, I love Marcell Ozuna. He is very cheap today. And going up against Joe Musgrove, like I said, Musgrove gives up a ton of home runs, and Ozuna is a great power hitter. I definitely think you can target him for value. And then another value play I like at outfield is Ezekiel Carrera. And yeah, so those are some other picks that I like at each position. You can use my top 5 plays and use some of those picks that I gave and make a lineup out of that. Or if you guys want to get my lineups, then follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. My lineups are $5 a day, or you can get a week of lineups for $25. So message me on Twitter if you are interested in that. Also, if you do follow me on Twitter, you can see how my lineups are doing. So even if you don't want to get lineups, you can still see how my lineups are doing. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you did enjoy. If you never want to miss out on any videos, please be sure to click the bell icon next to my YouTube name. That'll notify you every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on any videos, please be sure to turn on post notifications. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Yeah, bitches know my pedigree. Young kids coming to the world wanting everything. Ambitious when we see the power it can bring. Just rapping, just acting, just think if I could move my mom out of Harlem, somewhere where this Chinese ain't the only option.